It's time for Normalville. It's time for Normalville. It's time for Normalville. Gonna get a little crazy like you know we will. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Abnormal Hour. I am Frank Hildebrandt and my good buddy partner,
Alex Rennie.
Alex Rennie. Together, we are Abnormal Hour. We are Abnormal Hour.
The Abnormal Hour.
The Abnormal Hour. So cool. You have to stretch out the
Abnormal.
Yeah. And anybody you do that to, they can't help but nod. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, we're infectious.
We're like a disease. We're infectious.
But a good one. A disease you'll want to
There's
get.
no good diseases, man. Nobody wants a disease.
We'll be the first.
That's awesome.
Oh, let's abnormal virus the world.
With our abnormality. There we go.
Yes.
Cool.
Cool. So, first up, we are revisiting what we did last week.
Welcome, guys. Here was last week's sketch idea for our current cartoon. It was a unintentional Guinness Book of World Records.
How did we start this one? I forget how we got on this road to this cartoon.
Because of the news. There was the guy who did the Guinness Book of World Record for longest stationary bike.
He was a cyclist. From a cyclist, we got to somebody shooting out of a cannon.
And he's all mangled, and we decided what would be funnier than, the guys sitting around him would be him in the hospital, all bandaged up, full body cast, clown, ringmaster, everyone.
Yeah.
We decided to name him Ned.
Ned. Perfect.
And then this was our final result, which is really cool.
Like it.
I like it too. So
no
sorry
one has
about
ever
that,
done. No one's ever done a cartoon like that in the world ever.
No.
But we set a Guinness World Record for this.
So sorry about that, Ned. But on the bright side, you beat the Guinness World Record for distance shot out of a cannon without a net.
And he's mumbling.
Poor Ned. And I actually love doing this because, I went to circus school. So this guy to the right with his fancy, this reminds me of my instructor, actually. He wasn't quite that tall, but he was that built. But he's probably about the size of the clown over here, but just monstrous, big handlebar mustache. Normal. Alexander, do flip. He would always, he was Kazakhstani, and he's from Kazakhstan. His wife was from Russia, but he was always, Alexander, you will do flip. He was a really, really great guy.
Wow.
So this brought back some good memories. He used to travel with Ringling Brothers Circus. So.
Can you have a news story ready?
I don't. I will. I know I do. I just don't have it up on the screen.
Right.
So
Good thing we set this up, right? Come back. So next segment we have up is our news stories for the day.
Topless woman saves family from drowning in UK. Jessica Layton, 28, from Cornwall, UK, was sunbathing at Peden Vounder near Porthcurno on Tuesday when she went in for a short swim. It was just after 3 p.m. and the tide was coming in. I decided to go for a final dip before going home. I was topless in the sea when I saw 2 young women struggling to swim near rocks. Another member of the family ran in to help them, and she started struggling too. Leighton is apparently a regular on the nudist beach and is an actor and a singer. She's just glad she hadn't gone fully nude, or she would have put on an even bigger show. Fortunately, I just put my bikini bottoms on before what happened. It's a classic. Of course, I was going to be topless when something like this happens. While Leighton is still rattled by the incident, she says, I can't quite grasp it, being a hero. She said, her friends are delighted, posting on Facebook saying, local hero saves family from certain death with her norks out.
Norks?
It's a British term, norks.
That's a British term. Okay.
There we go.
Wow. Interesting. Not even sure how to comment on that.
Beat that, Frank. What's your story of the day?
Well, the other news story of the day also comes from England. Strange coincidence.
English, I tell ya.
Yeah, this is English week. Blimey. And it's another woman. A woman from Bournemouth, England, lost her British accent after a mysterious brain injury. At first, the injury caused her to lose her speech. Then 2 months later, she began speaking with foreign accents.
I've heard of this syndrome, the foreign accent syndrome.
I had not. I thought this was
Yeah.
Even upon trying, she couldn't speak with her regular British accent. And the accents, they change from Polish to French to Italian to Russian. She doesn't speak these languages, only the accents. It's a condition known as foreign accent syndrome. I was not aware. Some days I would like to have this syndrome.
Right.
To a lot of us, this would be a great party trick if you could turn it on and off. However, she is stuck with this syndrome, and it has actually greatly affected her life.
With that, we're going to move on to our next segment. Frank?
What is our next segment?
Expert advice from the experts.
Oh, I should have the agenda up here.
Yeah, would be good.
There it is. Okay.
And now, expert advice from the experts.
Okay, Alex, what do you have for us today for your expert advice?
So last time I did the expert advice, I was talking about the drop-in and surfing. And now I'm going to explain the most basic part of any board sport, and that is, which foot do you lead with? Because it makes a huge difference. We, as humans, we definitely have one foot, lead foot, that is much better and more balanced than the other. The first time I ever tried skateboarding, my friend DJ said, put your right foot forward and kick, and I did a back flop. And after about 3 tries, what's the sound effect? Ding, ding. I said, what if I put my left foot first? And that worked, and the rest was history. So when you lead with your left, it's called regular foot. When you lead with your right, it's called goofy foot. It does not really correspond to being a righty or a lefty. It kind of does, but not really. And it's just whatever you're more comfortable with. But there is a way to figure out which is your best lead foot. So
what is that?
If you think about it, it's all about balance. It's about almost like a fighting position, right? So for me, I'm leading with my left. I'm down low. I feel balanced and comfortable, more so than if I'm going this way. So the most basic and easy way to figure it out is, how would you move something heavy? If you had to push like a car that was in neutral to help get it out of a ditch, without thinking, how would you set yourself up to do that? If you just got up and you're like, okay, I'm going to get ready, and we all just unconsciously, there is one part that we know is going to be stronger. That's how you figure it out. If you imagine that you're going to push something heavy and you do your setup, I'm going to say with 80-90% certainty, that's going to be your lead foot, and at least try that one first. If that doesn't work, go the other way.
I've heard of another method. A buddy of mine that was going to get into snowboarding way back.
Okay.
And somebody instructed him, go find some gravel, or if you're in winter, go find somewhere where you can skid. Take a running start.
That's a heck of an idea.
To skid 6-8 feet. And then whatever happens, That's your lead foot.
Might be a little more painful than what I suggested, but that would work too. So that's today's expert advice from the experts.
And now we're going to go to our next segment, which is our brainstorming idea. Let's go to the whiteboard.
Hey everyone, so right before we get to the whiteboard, we actually had an idea sent in from a fan. This was a cartoon idea from Eric Larson. He's an engineer, plastics engineer, and this is what he had to say. I was chatting with a friend today, sharing a link to abnormalville.net. We were laughing about the praying mantis cartoon.
It's funny on many levels, about dating, about expectations, about doing what we're supposed to do, programmed to do, about changing behavior. However, there are challenges in changing behavior. In a nutshell, it is easy to condition a new behavior, teach, learn, reward, etc., but changing old behaviors can be a bitch. It's been proven in a number of studies, from animal husbandry to primate behavior to human sexual response. Made me think of a new cartoon for you. Two dogs, both with collars and hard hats, carrying their lunchboxes at the end of a long workday. One dog is white, one dog is black, and in the background we see walls of a factory, Pavlov Enterprises, with a horn or an electric bell, sending out sounds and ringing.
The dogs are talking. Pavlov? Pavlov? That name seems to ring a bell. Every time I hear it, I start drooling. Yeah, I hear it too, but every time I hear it, I just want to piss all over that guy. Could be funny.
Okay, well, so let's pull up the whiteboard. Meaning you pull up the whiteboard.
Yep.
When I say let's, that's me giving instruction.
That's your cue, Alex.
There it is. Yay, whiteboard.
Okay.
So we are going to deal with Pavlov's dogs. Most people are familiar with Pavlov's dogs. Ooh, so then you have only one dog, because otherwise they'd both be salivating. So you have a different animal and a dog.
Could be a pig. Just something like roughly the same size, maybe. Yeah, I love the idea of a different animal. I think that actually makes it work better, right?
Yeah. He can't figure out why you're drooling.
Neither can the dog. He doesn't know what's going on, right?
There we go. I think that's it. And we just put a little twist on it when we get down to the nitty gritty.
So that, my friends, was our first whiteboard of the day. And now a word from our sponsor.
Today's sponsor, Magneto Rust. Are you a successful go-getter, a mover, a shaker? Are you just plain well off? Well, now that you've rewarded your hard efforts with a Taj Mahal on wheels, you might be worried about losing it to some unsightly character. Well, we have something that will put your mind at ease. Magneto Rust. That's right, magnets that look like rust. After you've diagonally parked your beauty in the farthest spot in the parking lot, grab your box of Magneto Rust magnets. Strategically place them with loving care around your baby. When that unsightly jerk gets close enough, he'll pause, have a moment of empathy for the owner of this decaying treasure, and then just move on. No more need to carry around that giant wrecking bar for your steering wheel. You'll be amazed at how a few magnets can change the mood from envy to sympathy. Magneto Rust. Get yours today.
Let me get this here straight, Frank. What you're saying is you want the car to look unappealing. So he put their down there rust magnets on the car there, and nobody's gonna mess with it. Is that what you're saying there, man?
You're getting close. Yep, that's right.
All right.
And now, today's joke of the day.
What is black and white and red and has trouble going through revolving doors?
I have no idea.
A nun with a spear through her head.
That is demented.
You know what? I think this could be number 2, because let's plant the seed. Imagine someone had a spear in their head, and they couldn't, like, medically, it was better to leave it in, because that sometimes happens, right?
Yeah.
So, Doug or Brenda learned to live with her injury, and it didn't get her, or something like that, right? Like,
Well,
she had to deal with this the rest of her life.
First thing that comes to mind to me, it opened up a whole new career opportunity as a weather vane.
I was thinking a motivational speaker. But yes, a weather vane too.
Weather vane.
I like this as an
motivational
idea.
speaker. So with that, let's take that, run with it, and go with our next whiteboard. So,
None with spear and
none with spear. Again, a Guinness World Record first. So nobody's done that.
So yes, I like that dude. Brenda became the face of workplace injuries or something like.
Workplace safety.
Yes. Since Brenda's injury, or something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
Brenda's injury.
She had an
became the face
outstanding
of it.
career, traveled the world, giving seminars on workplace safety. And you think it's better to have be a woman than a man?
It could be anything.
The thing I'm thinking of is people feel a bit sorry for a woman that has an arrow, but if it's a guy that has an arrow in his head, they laugh. They're like, ha ha, a guy has an arrow through his head. And then if it's a woman with an arrow through her head, aw.
You think?
I think those are the two different reactions. And the name that comes to mind is Gary. Don't know why. But since Gary's injury.
Okay. It could be Gary, yeah. It could be funnier, right? So.
Since Gary's injury, he traveled the world giving speeches on workplace safety. That's cool.
But I like this. I think this is great. And yeah, I think you're right. It is a little more funny when it's a dude. Because guys are just typically stupider anyway, right?
Okay, now it's time for story time with Keanu Reeves.
And now, boys and girls, it's story time with Keanu Reeves.
Good afternoon, boys and girls. I'm Keanu Reeves. Welcome to story time.
Hi, Keanu.
Hello. Today's story is Little Miss Muffet.
Wait a minute. Is that the one with the scary spider?
It is.
Oh, I hope you kill him.
As I said in our last program, it is bad luck to kill spiders. Beware.
Oh, okay.
As I was saying, Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey.
Ew.
Along came a spider, who sat down beside her, and frightened Miss Muffet away.
What's a tuffet?
I believe a tuffet is referring to the buttocks.
Oh, why didn't they say that?
Well, can you think of any name that rhymes with buttocks?
Oop.
Yeah, me neither. How much longer do I have to do this? Okay, I think that's it for story time today, kids. What do you think?
Bye, Keanu.
Goodbye.
Thank you for that riveting story time, Keanu.
Thank you again, Keanu. And this leads us to our next section, which is Did You Know?
Today's Did You Know? We're going to talk about tomatoes.
Not a raw tomato fan at all. I like them sun-dried. I like them in sauces. I do not like raw tomatoes.
Or rotten tomatoes, I suppose. Hey?
Yeah, or rotten tomatoes either.
Did you know that the tomato is not a vegetable?
Yeah.
It is a fruit. A lot of people knew, but some people did not. It is the most popular fruit in the world. It is the most consumed of any fruit in the world. Now, the history of the tomato starts with the Aztecs. They were the first to cultivate the tomato. And before that, in Mexico, Central America, they were consuming tomatoes as early as 500 BC.
Oh.
Fast forward to the 1500s, the Spanish arrive. Spanish conquistadors? I don't know which Spanish. I like saying conquistadors.
Conquistador.
They discover the tomato. They take it back to the Caribbean and then the Philippines, Southeast Asia, and they work their way all the way across to Italy. So then from that, in the 1700s, the tomato travels from the Caribbean to the US, and that's how it becomes popular in the US. Then all the way up to 1897, a fellow named Joseph Campbell invents tomato canned soup, hence Campbell's soup.
So his very first soup was tomato soup.
That's right.
Wow.
1897.
Really cool.
And the one that did it for me was finding out that the tomato is not native to Italy, yet it's such a staple of their food diet. You think it's cultural. No, not so.
Oh.
Go to the Spanish.
That's cool.
Today's Did You Know?
Did you know? So today was like our basically traveling to Europe on all different counts between the news and
That's
did you
right.
know?
This is the theme of today's show was abroad.
European themed abnormal hour. With that, we are done with episode number 4. This is our 4th episode, man. It's a lot. We thank you, all of our fans and subscribers. We thank you for sticking with us through an entire month of the abnormal hour, which is really cool.
Yeah, appreciate it very much. Tell your friends.
And thank you again to Eric Larson for your idea of the Pavlov dog. We appreciate that. So please keep them coming. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, ideas, again, love to see the videos. Don't be shy, you know? Converse with us.
Converse. Interact. We are here for
We
you.
love you.
We are here to serve.
We want you to love us too.
With that, great guys. Thank you again, and we hope you have a great rest of your week.
See you later.
And now we're leaving. We gotta go. And now we're leaving. It's the end of our show. We had a good time. It's come to an end. We hope you had a good time. A good time, my friend. And now we're leaving. That's the end of our show. And now we're leaving. We gotta go.